What is the battery cart?
The battery cart is our cart that holds our 8 competition batteries that we bring with us to competition.
It gives us a place to store the batteries, to use them, charge them, test them, and show off our engineering abilities.
What does the battery cart do?
The battery cart allows us to charge our batteries and a lot of them at once. We have a battery tester on there so that we can actually make sure our batteries are functional and not going to mess up during a game. And eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to check the temperature, how long till it's charged, and much more stuff.
What was the inspiration behind the battery cart?
Well, we knew we wanted to do something different with the battery cart. After looking at what some of the other teams had at some of the other competitions, we basically just had a little stand. So I worked with some of the students and had them walk around. We walked around and looked at what some of the other people were doing. But I really believe that, that to get to the point we were now, we had a bad experience a couple years ago. We had counterfeit batteries, and we lost a lot of matches. Our robot died, and it really kind of like, okay, we need to do something different. We need to thoroughly test everything and have the ability, to know where we stand with batteries, have plenty of batteries on hand to make sure they're charged, just totally come up with a new plan. And so some of the older kids last year and the year before, we got together and kind of came up with a list of requirements that we wanted to build into the cart. And so as we kind of slowly started drawing it out on paper and putting it together, and then we added some other features, along the way that make ours a little different than other teams. So we had a good time doing it. And I think most of the kids in the build room worked on it at one time or another.
How does the battery cart benefit the team?
The battery cart benefits our team by allowing us to essentially have a cycle going. We can go in the pit, plug in our battery that we just used for a match, and then take out a new one, a fresh one, to use for the next match. And we can just have this constant cycle. It saves time having to individually check each one. We used to have a battery tester that you could test each individual battery, but it was very slow. We would forget which ones were already tested. We didn't remember which ones had charge, which ones didn't. So we could now know exactly which ones we need to use and immediately cycle through between matches.